in this video, obviously what it looks like with the paint and everything. I'm gonna show you. As you can tell, it's got red shit all over it. You know, we're not a bunch of little speed soft cringe little kids, so anything but a black gun blends in pretty well. We've got grass to help with the camo, and then we have stencils to help with it as well. I'm only using 3 colors, so there's this, literally just says brown, and then this is khaki, just tan, and then this is supposed to be army green, but it doesn't say anything on it. So depending on what area you live in is going to depend on what kind of paint you use, just simply because you know, everybody lives in different environments, so whatever blends into your field the best is what is probably going to be your best option. And a huge disclaimer whenever you do this, make sure that any electrical stuff is taped up. As you can see, the trigger's red, so I'm painting the trigger. A lot of people don't, but I just made sure to tape off the housing. I'm not going to be spraying straight into the mag well, so that does not matter. Any optic, both sides of the optic are taped off completely. I've got the back of the PEC where the thing plugs in, and then this button where anything could get into for the PEC is also turned off. This is a tracer unit, but I have the muzzle blocked off, so no paint's going to get in there. And then a lot of people wouldn't paint the buffer tube either, just because it gets stuck if it's painted, but I'm going to do it because it's red, and I also don't care. So this is not my main gun, which is why I'm testing this out on this. We're going to start, you want to make sure that when you're doing this, that it's a very light coat at first. Just kind of make sure you're going vertical, because nothing grows side to side. Everything grows upwards. You have to think you're in the jungle. So get a good coat here.
Kind of blends in with like rainforest.
So what?
Kind of blends in with like rainforest a little bit.
That's exactly the point. Okay, so you've kind of got a base coat here. I'm gonna kind of go over it just a little bit. Again, you want everything to be super light. You don't want any, you know, the more thicker it gets, the quicker it's gonna wear off. So the more you let it dry and the less of a coat that you can do is going to help it long term. So that's one coat. We're literally gonna let this sit for 10 minutes and then come back to it and flip it over to the other side and do the top and the bottom. As you can see, we're on to the other side. This is what the other side looks like right now. Of course, considering you're not some cornball airsoft speed software little kid, no offense, I'm just saying, it looks really good, so definitely cover that up. All right, so we're just gonna start on this side.
Eight-year-old kid with an airsoft gun.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Something I'm gonna do a lot, as you can tell. I said in the beginning to like be very careful about overcoating, but I'm definitely gonna be doing it a ton, especially on the parts like the buffer tube, especially the charging handle. You know, I'm not really worried about the mag release or the bolt release, because they don't do anything besides the mag release. The bolt release doesn't do anything. People with real firearms would definitely cover that up, because that's like an actual thing, but of course that's dummy on the airsoft gun. It doesn't actually do anything, so I'm not worried about messing that up. And of course, you know, it's the first coat. You know, it doesn't really mean too much, but it's definitely a base layer to make sure that when you go back that you don't have to do any additional work, or like for the longevity of the paint. So we'll let this side dry, and then we'll get into some of the other colors. All right, so I'm gonna start with the patterns now. So it's just brown, and I took some I don't even know what the hell this is, just like dead grass or whatever. And I'm literally just going to do this and then
kind of gives it like a second layer a little bit.
this wind is not helping.
You can hate it even
Oh.
worse.
What? It's looking good so far. And then we're literally just slowly just gonna work our way down the line, making sure we're not overdoing anything, but also making sure the patterns are staying good and clean. Good throughout. Take up some sides a little bit. You know, getting those stripes like right here isn't terrible. Anything
yeah.
to break up that solid color. That's exactly why we're painting it to begin with, is because anything is more camouflage than solid black. Like this literally already looks
Pretty cool.
I mean, if my gun looked like this, I'd run it. This looks great, but we have the different stencils and all that, so we'll let this side dry. And I'm gonna go back over the grip maybe one more time. Make sure it's nice and spread out. Put it up there. So we're just gonna do this and then go back over it. Boom. So spraying the grass around and, you know, letting anything stick to it. Anything to give
Look
it.
at that. That was
That
nice.
looks terrible. I fucked that up extremely
No,
bad.
you did not.
So as you can see, I'm using these stencils because I'm going to use them on my gun, but I just wanted to test them out on 3 mags. It's going to run in the 3-plate carrier, or the plate carrier that I'm using just for friends or whatever. It's going to hold 3 mags as long with this gun, which is exactly why I'm painting it. So, you know, they look good. The green might, you know, the green's lighter. This is a really weird green. It doesn't even say what kind of green it is, but as long as it's camouflage paint, because you don't want your gun to be all shiny and shit like a Cadillac, bro. You just want the matte. We're on this other side, clearly. I got you this nozzle.
Oh, I could do people.
Okay, so I'm just gonna clump this up.
I don't use to use pencil.
And then huh? No, it's not. Shut up. I need more grass, bro. This shit-
Bro, I swear to everything I love that the snake is right behind me, bro.
Damn. So, I'm kind of redoing the stock here, but as you can see, you can kind of get the idea. As you can see, there's like camo pattern, and there's a little bit from the grass. This grass isn't really good. Honestly, it kind of just falls apart. It really doesn't work. Hay would probably be better, but yeah, you kind of get the gist. And then see the other side. This is just wear, obviously, already. And honestly, the reason that you should do it on the ground is so that anytime you're doing shit like this, it kind of, you know, little pieces of grass will get stuck on it. The dirt will kind of rub into it to get rid of that paint smell. But of course, I'm on cardboard, so dirt's not going to do anything, but you get the idea. So, yeah. Of course, I'm not done yet, but, you know, we're getting there. So, something I've noticed doing this for the first time is, like right here, I had to completely repaint this whole stock with this tan color, because this got it's got a weird, just like Krylon. This is really good paint, but this nozzle is really weird, and it kind of like it moves a lot. So sometimes it'll be straight up and down, sometimes it'll be sideways. It's just a disclaimer. It's a really good paint though. I mean, this looks incredible in my opinion, first time doing it. So but if you kind of just really lightly go over everything, you'll kind of make these like little patterns like this. Like shoot it. Like there's certain spots, and of course, bear with me. This is literally my first time ever doing this, so this might not look good to like, you know, average person who's like does this shit for real, but it's an airsoft gun at the end of the day. It does not matter. But you know, anything's better than a solid black gun, especially with a red on it. It looked absolutely horrific. So I'm bottom of the gun, doesn't need any paint. Then the side's a little splotchy right here, so I'll probably go back over this. So see here, just grab some extra grass. That's all I did. And I mean, this is gonna wear in over time, so it's not always gonna look like this, but you know, then again, you can always just spray paint it again, which is literally like the idea of doing all this. I never personally use this gun. This was my first gun that I ever had. Airsoft gun. It's not real. So I don't care about it like whatsoever. Of course you can see, probably need to go over the top of this, clearly, but I do not care about this gun. This is an old PEC unit. This optic was gifted to me. Anybody who comes over and plays airsoft with me, like one of my good buddies always plays with me, and he runs this, and I don't want him to be running a black and red gun with a multicam kit. It just doesn't look good. So something like this is going to blend in a lot better, especially with my surroundings where it's a lot of dead leaves, a lot of trees, and of course that green is really weird looking. Like it's not, it won't blend in whatsoever, so I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use it on the mags. So as you can see, like these are going to get a little bit of a deeper coat, kind of with the grass and everything that I was talking about earlier. But these so far, these look pretty good. So make sure they're dry. Everything's dry. It's literally just trial and error. I mean, this is literally all this is going to be. You don't like a spot, just go ahead and line some grass up, hit it. See grass, you get little patterns like this. And you know, it's not going to be perfect. But then the cool thing about these stencils though that I really like is you can get a spot like that that's on the optic that's really bland. And you can kind of just throw this on it like so, and get this thing to stay. I'll show the after result. I got to do this with two hands. And then boom. So I hit it with the stencil, and then I hit it with the grass, and then get shit like this. Keeping it from blending, or not blending more so with the so-called whatever your environment is. And then boom, like that. That's perfect. Now I'm leaving this. But like I just said before, it's literally just trial and error. Like you can, like I had a little shitty spot like that I fucked up on. Go back. You know, you can never not go back. So now I'm just gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna hit the top. Probably, I mean, I honestly don't even, I'm gonna hit it just to do it. I'll probably just hit it with grass and super light, just to break up the it being so tan. If I'm not gonna lie, the green doesn't really match that well, but this just goes to show, I mean, you can literally do this with two colors. Like, it's all it takes. So I'm done pretty much. You know, it doesn't really take much to do this. This was super cheap. The stencils were like $13. The paint was probably like $8 a bottle, maybe $6, depending on the brand. The Krylon is a little bit more expensive. I think these were about $8. These were $7. I just got these on Amazon. This says it's Army Green. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think Army Green is like that light of a green. But as you can tell, it kind of messed the back of these mats. It didn't necessarily mess it up. It doesn't look bad. But if you're going in an environment that's of lighter greens, maybe more of a tropical multicam, yeah, that probably makes more sense. But of course, this gun itself isn't multicam, but it's tan, it's brown, and of course it looks so much better than black and red, which is what I'm about to prove to you. So if you could just imagine, you know, that looks plenty better. I'll get a quick thumbnail. Looks plenty better compared to a background than it just being black. So super simple stuff. You can do it at home until selector switch works perfectly fine. I'm gonna finish up these mags, give this some time to dry, take all the painter's tape off, and then do a shooting test, and I'll see how that goes. But for the most part, this is my first time doing this, so do not take any serious, like, things I say. Don't take it very seriously, because of course it could be wrong. But you know, Grantham makes really good videos on his recce series, you know, on painted rifles, and I'm pretty sure Dirty Civilian did one. There's a lot of YouTube, literally, if you just go online and look up how to paint your rifle, you know, there's a lot of really good videos out there that explain certain things. But I really haven't seen too many about how to paint an airsoft gun, and about certain things to tape off, like motor might be a good idea to tape that off, you know, the up part of the trigger so you aren't shooting paint straight into the motor. Don't shoot paint straight up the mag well. Like little things like that, you know, it might mean the difference between somebody breaking their gun or not. But, you know, I don't really see too many airsofters painting their guns, to be honest. But, you know, it's what it is. So, thank you for watching.